The discovery. The drill bit struck something that shouldn't exist 5 kilometers beneath Europa's ice. Captain Marcus Torres felt the vibration through his suit's haptic feedback system, a sensation unlike the usual grinding through frozen water. His team had been extracting ice cores for 3 months, searching for microbial life in Jupiter's moon's subsurface ocean. They found something far more significant. "Stop drilling," Torres commanded, his voice crackling through the comm system. The massive thermal lance powered down, leaving an eerie silence in the artificial atmosphere of their excavation dome. Dr. Maria Vasquez, the mission's chief scientist, moved closer to the drill shaft, her headlamp casting dancing shadows on the ice walls. "What did we hit?" she asked, checking her instruments. The readings made no sense. The density measurements suggested metal, but no natural formation could explain its presence at this depth. Torres activated the fiber optic probe, threading it down the narrow shaft. The camera feed appeared on their helmet displays, revealing a smooth metallic surface covered in intricate patterns. The metal gleamed with an otherworldly sheen, untouched by corrosion, despite millennia beneath the ice. "That's not natural," whispered Dr. James Park, the team's geologist. "The geometric precision, those symbols. This is artificial." The next 72 hours transformed their simple research mission into humanity's most classified operation. Military vessels arrived from Earth's orbital stations, establishing a security perimeter around Europa. Engineers widened the shaft, carefully melting through the remaining ice until they could extract the object. It emerged like a metallic egg, 3 meters long and perfectly ovoid. The surface patterns seemed to shift in the light, creating an optical illusion that made it difficult to focus on any single detail. Dr. Sarah Chen, Earth's leading xenolinguist, arrived on the fastest military transport available. "These aren't random patterns," she announced after her initial examination. "This is a language, a highly sophisticated one that incorporates mathematical concepts directly into its grammar." The object was transported to Luna Base, humanity's most secure research facility, inside a hermetically sealed laboratory, surrounded by every scanning device human technology could provide. Dr. Chen began her work. She approached the translation like solving the universe's most complex puzzle, using AI assistants to identify patterns and recurring symbols. Days blurred into weeks. The breakthrough came at 3 in the morning, when Chen's exhausted mind finally grasped the key to the alien syntax. The symbols weren't just language, they were compressed data, each pattern containing layers of meaning that expanded like fractal mathematics. "It's a warning," she told the assembled leaders of Earth's nations via secure transmission. "And a gift. This device was left by a civilization that called themselves the Verethi. They fought something they called the Devourers, beings that consume entire star systems for resources." President Elena Martinez of the Global Council leaned forward on her screen. "How long ago?" "Approximately 50,000 years, the Verethi lost. But before their civilization fell, they seeded these data cores throughout the galaxy. This one contains their entire military database, including the specifications for their most powerful warship." The silence that followed was deafening. General Zhang Wei of the Earth Defense Force was the first to speak. "You're saying we have blueprints for an alien battleship?" "Not just blueprints," Chen corrected. "Manufacturing techniques, material science data, weapons systems, propulsion technology that makes our best spacecraft look like Stone Age canoes. But there's more." She paused, knowing her next words would change everything. "The data core's quantum sensors are still active. They've detected gravitational anomalies consistent with the Devourer's approach pattern. We have less than 5 years." The debate that followed nearly tore Earth's fragile unity apart. Some nations wanted to attempt diplomacy, others suggested hiding, and a few advocated for immediate military buildup. The turning point came when long-range telescopes detected the first signs. Stars were disappearing from a region of space, their light simply ceasing to exist. Chancellor Akira Tanaka of Japan stood before the emergency session of the Global Council. Our ancestors faced impossible odds throughout history. When the tsunami came, we built sea walls. When earthquakes struck, we developed better buildings. Now the universe itself threatens us, and we have been given the tools to fight back. Are we so afraid that we won't even try? The vote was close but decisive. Project Defiance was born. The construction effort dwarfed any human endeavor in history. The ancient pyramids, the Great Wall, the Apollo program, all paled in comparison. Orbital shipyards expanded 100-fold. Mining operations stripped asteroids bare. Every manufacturing facility on Earth retooled for component production. The ship's frame took shape in Earth's L2 Lagrange point, where gravitational forces provided stability for the massive construction. The design incorporated Verratti technology with human innovation. Where the aliens had used exotic matter that humanity couldn't replicate, human engineers substituted composite materials of their own design. Where Verratti systems required six-fingered operators, humans redesigned the interfaces. Dr. Robert Kim, chief engineer of Project Defiance, often worked 20-hour days. The vessel grew like a mechanical organism, its skeleton of reinforced titanium carbide composite stretching 2 kilometers from bow to stern. The primary hull resembled a flattened arrowhead, with swept-back wings that housed the main weapon systems. The Verratti built for efficiency, Kim explained to his team. But humans build with soul. Every system has redundancies. Every component can be repaired with tools we understand. This isn't just their ship anymore, it's ours. The first major crisis came 8 months into construction. The planet's supply of rare earth elements, crucial for the ship's power systems, was nearly exhausted. The Global Council faced an impossible choice: continue building and risk economic collapse, or abandon the project and face extinction. The solution came from an unexpected source. Children around the world, inspired by educational programs about Project Defiance, started collecting electronic waste. The movement grew spontaneously, spreading through social media. Families dismantled old devices, separating components. Recycling centers reported unprecedented submissions. Maria Santos, age 12, became the movement's unofficial spokesperson when she appeared at a Global Council meeting. My grandmother says that in her village, everyone contributed when they built the church. One family gave stones, another gave tools. Everyone gave what they could. Earth is our village now. This ship is our church. We give what we can. The resource shortage was solved not by governments or corporations, but by billions of individual acts of sacrifice. People gave up their devices, their conveniences, their luxuries. The ship continued to grow. As the superstructure neared completion, the real challenges began. The Verratti power core designs called for controlled antimatter reactions, something humanity had only achieved in microscopic quantities. The weapons systems required targeting computers that could track objects moving at relativistic speeds. The shields needed to deflect energies that could vaporize planets. Human ingenuity rose to meet each challenge. Where they couldn't match Verratti technology directly, they found alternatives. The antimatter reactor was replaced with a fusion cascade system that achieved similar output. The targeting computers incorporated quantum processing arrays developed specifically for the project. The shields used a layered system combining Verratti energy manipulation with human electromagnetic expertise. But time was running out. Long-range sensors detected more vanishing stars, the darkness approaching faster than anticipated. The devourers were ahead of schedule. The transformation. The breakthrough came from Dr. Lisa Anderson, a junior engineer fresh out of MIT. While reviewing the Verratti weapon specifications, she noticed something others had overlooked. The primary weapon wasn't just a directed energy system. It was designed to manipulate space-time itself. The Verratti were thinking defensively, she explained to the senior staff. They built this weapon to punch holes in space, creating temporary wormholes to redirect enemy fire. But what if we reversed the polarity? Instead of creating escape routes, we could create inescapable traps. Her insight revolutionized the entire weapons platform. Human engineers redesigned the system from the ground up, turning a defensive tool into humanity's most powerful offensive weapon. The Graviton Lance, as it was dubbed, could theoretically collapse sections of spacetime, creating micro-black holes that would consume anything in their path. The ship's AI systems presented another challenge. The Varathi had used biological computers, growing neural networks that could process information at incredible speeds. Humans couldn't replicate the technology, but Dr. Yuki Tanaka from Tokyo's Quantum Computing Institute proposed something revolutionary: a hybrid system combining human intuition with artificial intelligence. We don't need to match their processing power, she argued. We need to exceed their creativity. Human brains excel at pattern recognition and innovative problem-solving. Our AI handles calculations and data processing. Together, they'll outperform any pure biological or electronic system. The resulting human-AI interface became the ship's greatest asset. Volunteer pilots underwent neural implantation surgery, allowing direct connection with the ship's systems. When linked, human creativity merged with computational power, creating a decision-making system unlike anything in the galaxy. Commander Alessandro Rossi was selected as the ship's primary pilot. A veteran of Mars colony missions, he had the rare combination of exceptional reflexes and intuitive understanding of three-dimensional combat. The neural interface transformed him, allowing him to feel the ship as an extension of his own body. "It's indescribable," he told reporters after his first full integration test. "I don't just pilot the ship, I become it. Every sensor is my eyes, every weapon is my hands. The AI doesn't control me, and I don't control it. We think together, react together, fight together." As systems came online, the ship revealed capabilities beyond even the Varathi's original design. The human modifications hadn't just matched alien technology, they had improved upon it. The shield systems could adapt to different types of energy weapons. The engines could achieve speeds that pushed the boundaries of physics. The weapons could target multiple enemies simultaneously with unprecedented accuracy. But time had run out. Deep space monitoring stations detected a massive gravitational distortion approaching the outer solar system. The Devourers had arrived earlier than predicted. Humanity's Star Destroyer wasn't fully tested. Several secondary systems remained incomplete, and the crew had minimal training time. The Global Council faced an impossible decision: launch the ship immediately and risk catastrophic failure, or continue preparations and potentially lose Earth before the vessel was ready. Commander Rossi made the choice for them. "We go now," he announced, already moving toward the ship. "Every minute we delay is another light year they advance. Better to face them with an imperfect weapon than let them reach Earth unopposed." The launch of humanity's first Star Destroyer was witnessed by billions. The vessel, christened UES Defiance in honor of humanity's refusal to accept extinction, departed Earth orbit with a crew of 3,000 volunteers. Engineers continued working on uncompleted systems during transit, racing against time to bring every weapon online. The journey to the edge of the solar system took 48 hours at maximum acceleration. During transit, long-range sensors provided the first clear images of the enemy. The Devourers weren't a fleet. They were a single, massive entity. A living ship, if it could be called that, composed of what appeared to be crystalline structures that constantly shifted and reformed. It was the size of Earth's moon, and it was consuming Pluto. The dwarf planet didn't explode or break apart. It simply dissolved, its matter drawn into the crystalline mass like sugar dissolving in water. The entity grew larger with each bite, its form becoming more complex, more threatening. "All stations report ready," announced Lieutenant Sarah Kim from the tactical station. "Weapons charge, shields at maximum. The Graviton Lance is online but untested." Commander Rossi felt the ship's systems through his neural link. The AI's analysis filled his mind. Probability of victory, 13%. Probability of survival, 4%. But statistics didn't account for human determination. "Open a channel," Rossi ordered. "Let's try talking first." The communication attempt lasted 12 seconds. The Devourer's response wasn't words, but a directed psychic assault that would have killed the crew if not for the ship's shielding. The entity's message was clear. It didn't negotiate with food. The battle began at a distance of 50,000 kilometers. The Devourer launched what appeared to be crystal shards, each the size of a skyscraper, traveling at near-light speed. Defiance's point defense systems engaged, destroying most of the projectiles, but several struck the shields. The impact sent shockwaves through the ship's structure. "Return fire," Rossi commanded. "All conventional weapons, full spread." Plasma cannons, railguns, and missile systems unleashed their fury. The barrage would have obliterated any human fleet, but against the Devourer, it seemed like throwing pebbles at a mountain. The entity's crystalline structure absorbed the energy, growing brighter with each hit. "It's feeding on our weapons," Dr. Anderson reported from her engineering station. "The more energy we pour into it, the stronger it becomes." The Devourer retaliated with tentacles of pure energy that lashed out across space. Defiance's pilot merged completely with the ship's systems, dodging attacks that moved faster than human reflexes could track. But they couldn't evade forever. A tendril of energy wrapped around the ship's starboard wing, beginning to drain its power. "Graviton lance charged and ready," Weapons Officer Chen announced. "But we never fired it. The containment field could collapse, destroying us along with the target." Rossi felt the ship dying around him, systems failing as the Devourer drained their energy. The choice was simple: die slowly or risk everything on one shot. Human history was filled with such moments, times when survival demanded the impossible. "Target the entity's center mass," he ordered. "Fire." The Graviton lance activated, and space itself screamed. Reality warped around the beam of twisted spacetime that connected Defiance to its target. For a moment that lasted eternity, the fundamental forces of the universe were humanity's to command. The beam struck the Devourer's core, and something unprecedented happened. The entity's perfect crystalline structure began to collapse inward. The graviton effect created a cascade reaction, each crystal's implosion triggering the next. The creature that had consumed countless worlds across the galaxy was being destroyed by its own mass. But the weapon's containment field was failing. The gravitational forces threatened to tear Defiance apart. In the neural link, Rossi felt the AI's desperate calculations. There was a way to stabilize the field, but it required precise manual adjustments to thousands of parameters simultaneously, something no human could achieve, and no AI could intuition, unless they worked as one. Rossi surrendered completely to the link, his consciousness merging with the artificial intelligence. Together, they became something new. Neither fully human nor fully machine, but a hybrid that combined the best of both. Working in perfect synchronization, they stabilized the weapon, contained the gravitational field, and watched as the Devourer imploded into a quantum singularity that vanished in a flash of exotic radiation. The aftermath was silence. Defiance drifted in the void, damaged but intact. The crew slowly comprehended what they had achieved. They hadn't just survived. They had destroyed a threat that had consumed civilizations far more advanced than Earth. "Sir," Lieutenant Kim's voice was hushed with awe. "We're receiving transmissions, not from Earth, from deep space. Multiple sources, different directions. Sir, they're thank you messages, in hundreds of languages." The truth dawned slowly. The Devourers hadn't been a single entity but a race of cosmic predators. By destroying one, Defiance had sent a message across the galaxy. This section of space was defended. Civilizations that had hidden for millennia were emerging, reaching out to the newcomers who had achieved the impossible. Humanity's first star destroyer limped back to Earth, carrying more than victory. They'd brought proof that humans belonged among the stars, that their unique combination of innovation, determination, and courage made them not just survivors, but protectors. In the years that followed, Earth became a beacon of hope in the galaxy. The technology from Defiance revolutionized human civilization. Ships based on its design established trade routes with newfound allies. The neural link technology opened new frontiers in human-AI cooperation. But the greatest change was psychological. Humanity had faced extinction and emerged victorious through cooperation, sacrifice, and innovation. They had built their first star destroyer not as conquerors, but as defenders. In doing so, they had earned their place among the stars. The cosmos was vast, filled with wonders and terrors beyond imagination. But humans had proven they could face whatever challenges awaited. After all, they had built a star destroyer from alien blueprints, improved upon perfection, and saved not just their world but countless others. The universe would never be the same.